Hey student, watch this video and learn how to ask questions in English in the present, in the past, and in the future. Coming up. Hey friends, Teacher Prix here to help you talk to anyone, anywhere, anytime in English. Hey Instagram, thank you so much for watching, for participating. Thank you for watching. If you're watching live, thanks for joining. I know that for some people it is very late, for others not so much. And if you're watching the replay, that is awesome. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed this lesson, my friends. Now, let's dive into the content because today I have a lot of stuff to share with you guys, okay? And if you are on Instagram and you want to see the slides that I have prepared for this lesson, come to YouTube because on YouTube I can show you the slides with the explanations that I'm going to be sharing with you guys tonight. Now, if you are here watching live, let me know in the chat where you are watching this from, okay? If you are from Brazil, if you are from Spain, Argentina, Uruguay, and if you are my baby sardine, let me know here that you are my baby sardine. Anyway, my friends, asking questions in English. You know, why study questions? This is something that students sometimes ask me when I am giving explanations about asking questions, when I am telling them about the importance of asking questions in English. And you see, it is so important because it'll help you become more confident the next time you have to speak to someone in English. And if you think about it, conversations will flow more easily if you know how to ask questions in English. And one thing that happens to students, and I've done this several times with many different students from all different levels. Every time I look at them and say, ask me a question, ask me an interesting question, they don't know how. They go back to very basic questions, very simple questions. They don't have the imagination. Now, disclaimer, everybody has imagination. Everybody can use their imagination, but you need practice. If you never practice asking questions, the next time you are in a conversation in English, it is going to be difficult for you to think of how to ask questions. Students are often so worried about talking and speaking and answering things in English, but they never realize the importance of knowing how to ask questions, because you are going to feel more confident if you know what to ask. The questions in a conversation will help you get the conversation going, okay? Because if you are feeling a little lost, if you want to guide the conversation, it'll be easier for you to do that if you know how to ask questions in English, okay? So here, this is not just a grammar lesson, this is a speaking strategy. If you want to become a better English speaker, you've got to step up the game and learn how to ask interesting questions. And I'm gonna show you how, okay? Teacher, I don't know. I don't know how to ask questions. I don't have anyone to practice with. You know, I'm alone. I study by myself. I have no idea what questions to ask. What do I do? Well, my friends, to be able to do this practice, if you are alone, if you are studying alone, you need to have a clear context in mind. And what is a context? I agree with you. It may be very difficult to think of questions that you can ask in a conversation if you don't know what conversation to talk about, if you have no subject in mind, if you have no context in mind. So to be able to do this kind of practice, to sit down and write down questions, I'll be giving you some recommendations. The first thing you need to think of is the topic. What are you interested in? What conversation subjects are you interested in? And I have several videos here on my channel where I give you recommendations about speaking practice, speaking alone, how to practice English speaking alone. But here, if you want to be able to ask better questions in English, you need to do this. The first thing you need to do is, I need to sit down. I need to think of what conversation subjects, what topics, maybe not necessarily a conversation subject, but what topics you want to talk about. And based on the subject, based on the topic you have chosen, it'll be easier for you to ask a question, to make questions, to think of what kind of things you can ask connected to that conversation, connected to that topic that you have chosen. And this is very important. So here, sit down, make a list, choose, make a list of 5 topics, 10 topics. It's okay because you're not going to do it all today. You can divide and slowly practice, all right? So choose 5 to 10 ideas of things you can talk about. Then choose one. So you made a list of topics. Oh, okay, I'm going to talk about, I would like to talk about. So let's be realistic here. I would like to talk about this, 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 and that. I am interested in this, this, and that. Now you will choose one topic from the list, and you are going to practice writing down 5 to 10 questions, because that way you will be practicing grammar in a contextualized way. There's a real context. There is a real necessity. There is a conversation subject here. There is a topic for you to talk about. And that's the idea here, to prepare you for the real world. Because I want you to be able to feel confident asking interesting questions to people in English, in conversations, when having lunch, when getting to know foreigners, native speakers or non-native speakers, or in a job interview, being able to ask questions about your future position. That's what I want you to do, okay? Susanna, you are in Boston. I know, right? It's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I hope you enjoy Boston. Enjoy the weather. It's probably cold already, right? Now, moving on. Oh my God, where am I? Yes, okay. Now, here, when you practice writing down the questions, you will be able to answer your own questions. So here, you will be able to practice many different aspects of the language. You will be practicing grammar in context, not just sitting down to do exercises. No. There's a real purpose here, a situation when you can actually talk to people and ask those questions. So you will be practicing grammar in context. You will be practicing vocabulary. But teacher, how? How am I going to be practicing vocabulary? When you sit down to create your questions, you may not know a verb, you may not know an adjective or a noun, so you will need to look up some words. That's when I tell you that translation may be necessary. As I always tell you guys, I do not approve of translation. But in this case, you are creating a question and you don't know one single word to finish your question, then you can Google that word. It is necessary. So in that situation, you will be studying vocabulary. You will be practicing your writing skills because you can do this by writing. You can create your questions by writing. Actually, I urge you to do that. Write down the questions because when you write, you practice different aspects of your memory. You practice your physical memory. So write down the questions you are thinking of, okay? As I said, choose one topic and write down 5 to 10 questions, okay? The next thing, speaking. Yes, you can also practice speaking. How? Well, you created 5 questions, or maybe you couldn't. It's okay. Maybe you created 3 questions. Now you can practice answering those questions. And you can record your voice answering those questions because after that you can listen to yourself. So look at this powerful combination of exercises. First, you think of a situation, a topic, something you are interested in. Then you create 5 to 10 questions and you will be studying grammar that way. And here I'll be giving you a lesson about present, past, and future to help you with the structure, to remind you and review the structure of asking questions in English. Then you will be practicing vocabulary because there may be a word you don't know that you will need to look up, that you will need to find out. You will also practice writing. You will be writing those questions. You will be thinking about how to organize your question. And finally, you will speak. You will practice answering your questions, the questions that you created. And more importantly, the questions you created about the subject you are interested in, the thing you want to talk about, the subject that you want to be able to express your opinion, you want to be able to explain. Imagine yourself talking to people about that subject. How awesome is that going to be when you feel more confident talking about that topic, talking about the things you enjoy, your favorite movies, or talking about the weather and the environment, and interesting subjects that will make you feel inspired. That's my goal. It's much more than simply doing an English exercise. It's something that will help you speak English in the real world, talking to real people, okay?